Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avataravarishthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. Father's house, Ramakrishna was singing. The master asked Mani Malik to quote the words of Tulsidas to the effect that one who had developed love of God could not observe caste distinctions. Mani. The throat of the chatak bird is pierced with thirst. All around are the waters of Ganges, the Jamuna, Sarayu, and innumerable other rivers and lakes, but the bird will not catch any of these. It only looks up expectantly for the rain that falls when the star Swati is in the ascent. Master. That means that love for the lotus feet of God is alone real and all else illusory. There is a bird, chatak bird. In Indian, we exactly do not know whether it is a mythological bird or actual bird, but we have heard that it has a small hole here. It cannot drink water. It comes out from here. So it waits for the dripping water somewhere. So it will be waiting for the particular season where fine fresh water in big drops falls. It is supposed to be a particular star. Swati is on the ascent. Master. That means love for the lotus feet of God is alone real and all else is illusory. Mani. Tulsi also said, at the touch of the philosopher's stone, the 8 metals become gold. Likewise, all castes, even the butcher and the untouchable, become pure by repeating Hari's name. Without Hari's name, the people of the 4 castes are but butchers. Now the philosopher's stone. Philosopher's stone is Parasamani, Parasamani. So if it touches iron and other metals also has been stated here, iron is most commonly found and used, the term iron. It touches the metal, it gets transformed to gold. Some that must have the power to change the electronic configuration of an atom at atomic level. Anyway, scientifically I don't know whether these things are true or mythological truths or were there in those days which are has disappeared from this nature. Many species we see of the animals, plants, trees getting it is no more there. Like that it could be, but anyway, but the thing is what we have to take into account is how the God's name, Sri Krishna used to say, is God's name an ordinary thing? It purifies body and mind. Even in scriptures, Vedas, yatra vedo avedaha, after realization of God, the Vedas, the highest scriptures, become no more scriptures. What is to attain has been attained. Scriptures are no more. Now it is like cooking. Some people keep the books referring now and then, opening and for cooking a particular dish. Once they learn it, the book is of no more use. Once they become habitual, every day they are doing the same thing, what is the use of book anymore? It was just an indicator how to do it. Swimming, driving, classes are there, books are there. Once you learn, it has no meaning. Like the scriptures lose all status as scriptures. Yatra Vedaha Aveda Bhavanti. Paulkaso Paulkasaha Apaulkasaha. Brahmana Abrahmana. All the castes lose their identity in love of God. Once the body was associated with the I was doing some either guna, karma, the actions. Now I am a doctor is because of my profession. Similarly, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the four castes, with now it is in different form as the managerial, then watch and ward, and then the purchase and sales, and then labor work. These four classes will eternally remain. Wherever there is an organization, these Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra will remain in one form or other. So the caste system will continue, but when love of God, when they stand on the platform where there is higher reality being experienced, the caste system goes off. So that aspect is the height that scriptures forbid one to touch can be taken inside the temple after he has been tanned. The hide that scriptures forbid. Now some skin. Now this is the deer skin, tiger skin on which people sit and meditate. It is skin of an animal. Once it is tanned, it is permitted to be taken inside the temple. If we wear one leather belt and go, they don't allow. But if I carry a tiger skin for sitting, they allow. They both are skin. But how they used for God's purpose, divine purpose, that also gets the status equal to the objects of worship. I take flowers, fruits and all for worship. If I take one deer skin also for sitting for my asana and start worshipping, these Mahamandaleshwars of almost all sampradaya, they sit on deer skin and do the worship. It is considered as holy. Man becomes pure. This is told by Master. The hide of a hide that the scriptures forbid to touch can be taken inside the temple after it has been tanned. Man becomes pure by repeating the name of God. Therefore, one should practice chanting the name of God. I said to Jadum Malik's mother, in the hour of death, you will think only of worldly things, of family, children, executing the will and so forth. The thought of God will not come to your mind. The way to remember God in the hour of death is to practice now and repetition of His name and the chanting of His glories. Perhaps she was too worldly that she's not been able to. Everything she's taking care, and the whole world, her property, this, that, everything is in the mind. And the God has, she has forgotten totally taking the name of God or paying attention to spiritual. There is going to temple. Many people give up going to temple also, even on special days. So what would be their state of mind when they go to the death appears before them? No chances of same thing they will be holding on to. The way to remember God in the hour of death is to practice now the repetition of His name and chanting His glories. If one keeps up this practice, then in the hour of death, one will repeat the name of God. When the cat pounces upon the bird only quacks, does not say Rama Rama or Hare Krishna. The parrots in India, they are trained from its early stages to repeat the name of God. Whatever we go on teaching it, it can repeat. Rama Rama, oh please come, please come. These words it will start repeating. But when death comes, when a cat catches it, neither Rama Rama comes in its mouth, it's only its own sound, quack quack it will do. That is Sri Ramakrishna is giving the example. Means we have to undergo an internal transformation. It is not sufficient. Externally I understand. How do you know the internal transformation we have undergone? Is when we are asleep. In dreams, we see we are going to the temple. We are doing some chanting, doing worship. Some bhajans are coming in dream and in sleep. So unconscious mind is getting purified. That is a sign of inner purity. It is good to prepare for death. One should constantly think of God and chant His name in solitude during the last years of one's life. As we advance in age, only inside God alone must dwell. We may dwell in the world, we may attend to all the duties or the responsibilities or our own work, like taking food, bringing vegetables, or some small work. We cannot sit without it in an atmosphere. But whenever we do this, we have to see slowly that it is just an external thing. Inside is filled with God and God alone. The body is moving about doing something externally which doesn't affect the inner world. Balram's father, Sri Ramakrishna is continuing, his name in solitude during the last years of one's life, when the evening of life comes, they have to seriously take up waiting for the dark night to appear. So before the nightfall, he has to enfirm himself in the thought of divine. If the elephant put into stable after its bath, it is not soiled again by dirt and dust. Balram's word, the elephant is given bath. The moment you leave it in the open field, it again sucks mud from the ground and puts on its own body. It puts on its own body. It is wet and feeling, and it goes on sucking through the trunk and putting it on the body, because that's how we do. Through our own karma we are binding ourselves. Just to go out and talk something to somebody, if your inner awareness is not rooted in God, you get lost. You are doing karma. If your inner existence is rooted in God, the outer Bahir Prajna, Antar Prajna, the external consciousness and internal consciousness. Internally, if you are rooted in God, doing external things will not affect you. Otherwise, you'll be carried away in the external world. Every word that you utter, everything that you see, slowly gets converted into karma, karmic load. Balram's father, Mani Malik, and Benipal were all elderly men. Did Master give this instruction, especially for their benefit? Aged people, they have to quit now. Take up. The time is over. Don't get involved into the external thing. The moment you enter into sleep, not death, this world you get disconnected totally. Not even a memory of this world or a thought of this world remains. Totally erased. And you are in an entirely different dimension. See how you shift, and will it remain after death, never to come back. I am going in sleep with all assurance that I am going to come back. But what happens after death? We will never be able to come back, nor we will be able to carry any memories of the past. So that is the state into which we are going to enter. So Sri Ramakrishna has wanted them to last moment of the death. See, whatever is the mind and external things there at the time of death, it is there, it is going to reach. There are two things, vasanas and karma on one side, and the divine awareness to counteract. No other thing can counteract the karmic load, karmic vasanas, the tendencies I have acquired and the karmas I have done. This cannot be by any means, but only divine is a compensation and a counteracting force. Now according to karma, I have to go somewhere. I think of something else, world itself. Yet it doesn't change the course. It takes where it has to go. But if you take the name of God, if your awareness somehow shifts to the divine, you go to a higher state of existence from where God is very closer. Now you see there is a rocket, suppose, even cracker rocket which we fire during functions and all of Deepavali. Now this rocket, since its manufacturing, which direction it was seeing? All round. While making itself, it has circled almost all directions. Then when it is traveling in a vehicle, when it reaches the person, and when he is carrying, it is showing some other directions. But none of this direction it goes. The last moment of firing, which side it is facing, it is in that direction it goes. Last moment. Similarly, whatever you might have done, whatever things might have been involved in, irrespective of all that, at the time of death, if you think of God, then all these karmic load, this, that and all, which are going to very adamant and cannot be escaped, inevitable forces of nature, it compensates, it counteracts and takes it to a different dimension altogether. The struggle is to transcend the nature and go, and it does transcend the nature. Master, why do I ask you to think of God and chant the name in solitude? Living in the world day and night, one suffers from worries. Have not you noticed brother killing brother for a foot of land? Six said to me, the cause of all worry and confusion is these three: land, woman, and money. These three entities. Dhara, Dara, and wealth. The three. And you are leading a householder's life. Why should you be afraid of the world? When Rama said to Dasharatha he was going to renounce the world, it worried his father. The king sought the counsel of Vasishtha. Vasishtha said to Rama, Rama, why do you want to give up the world? Reason with me. Is this world outside God? What is there to renounce and what is there to accept? Nothing whatever exists but God. It is Brahman alone that appears as Ishvara, Maya, living beings and the universe. Just like when we sleep, we dream, everything is mind. Except mind, nothing is there. Like this, except Brahman, nothing is there. Balram's father, it's very difficult, sir. It looks, but once we get the taste in spiritual path and love of God, all things become easy. See, most of the renunciates and saints, some of the saints are living in the world like butter floating in water, uninvolved. But what we commonly see is the saints and these people are as if they are insulated, that nothing can stain them. Now Sri Ramakrishna is telling here, reason out, Brahman alone appears as Ishvara, Maya and living universe. So the thing is, how can you remain in this world without getting influenced or affected by the external world? To remain pure and divine in spite of all things around. It is the shift of awareness from the world to the spiritual. Our attention doesn't go to the world at all. We'll be there penetrating, our eyes are penetrating and seeing divine everywhere. This vision, this transformation is what is required. Inner transformation. Balram's father, it's very difficult, sir. Master, the aspirant, while practicing spiritual discipline, what I wanted to tell is, it looks very difficult, but as you start walking, it starts opening. From distance it's so much complicated. Now you see suppose computer software designing, varieties of things we are able to. For an outsider who doesn't know the computer science, they will be wondering, what is all this? How can they do these things? A small, any equipment, how things are happening. But if he understands and start working on it, new ideas come, new openings, unimaginable openings. So it is something, as you go, then we will be, those who renunciate, they will be feeling how these people are able to live in the world. Just like, how are they able to renounce and go away? The renunciates will be thinking, how they are able to live in this world. All attachments, all pains and suffering, bondages, insults, this, that. Amidst that, how are they going to live? So living in the world looks so strange, and it is as if from all sides stakes are standing to kill and destroy. But these people, some protection is there always. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.